There in the distance by those big oak trees is the ruined site of Henwood Priory, founded in 1149 during the time of the Great Anarchy of King Stephen, and finally destroyed in 1536 during the Reformation. It was a Benedictine order dedicated to Saint Margaret. Now, when it was originally opened in 1149, it was called Estwell, named after a spring which is still actually here, just over there on the other side of the River Blythe. Now, this site is haunted. Back in 1349, when the Black Death swept through this region, 12 out of the 15 nuns that lived at the priory were killed and buried in a big plague pit. And it's these 12 nuns, the Plague Nuns of Henwood Priory, that have been seen a few times over the centuries. So let's go and take a bit of a look. Now this area, the whole area here, is called Henwood. But it's not named after the animal. It's named after the Old English Henwood, which actually means high trees or high wood. And the history books say in 1149, when the priory was actually established, it was noted that large oak trees grew around here. And well, the oak trees are still here today, as can be seen. And over time the priory became known as Henwood Priory. Although, as I've said, originally the nuns named the priory after the actual natural spring, Estwell. Now in the distance, if you can see that far tree line, that used to be a watermill which was owned by the priory, which wasn't destroyed in 1536 along with the building itself, and that actually became known as Grimshaw's Castle. It was fortified, and that lasted right up until the beginning of the 20th century before it was demolished, just like the priory itself. Now it's this stretch of land here between the ruins of Henwood Priory and the ruins of Grimshaw Castle that the plague nuns have been seen. Normally around this time of year in midsummer, but normally about twilight. It's imagined that the plague pit is probably somewhere between here and down the bottom. But the ghosts have been seen. There's 12 of them, 12 nuns dressed in their black habits, walking in procession in single file, with the heads bowed and the hands clasped together in silent prayer. I don't know if they're going to make an appearance for us today, but you can only hope. Now the exact site of the actual priory itself is framed here on this sallow piece of ground at the bottom of the hill. And it's from here that the nuns originated. Site of Henwood Priory.